Come.
Holy crap. Alright. Alright. Restarting the video. Rewind. Alright, we're back. Alright. Alright. Weapons and tools mods tier list. That's what we're doing. Next video will be armor and vehicle mods. Separate ones. We're doing separate ones because these are kind of the ones that overlap the most. Okay. So, still, I want to make the same premise real quick. Please do not compare the barrel extender to the melee mods. It's kind of unfair. Or like any ranged mods to melee mods. It's kind of weird. Unless it applies to both things, don't try to like say like, why did you put the fucking laser as D, but then put the fucking chained mod on S. Like, and I'm not doing that, but like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to compare melee and range. That doesn't make sense. Unless it applies to both, it's kind of hard to compare. All right. To start with, we have the arrow accuracy mod. Now, I'm gonna be 100%. Oh, hold on. Let me actually. I apologize. Let me actually. I took the wiki away because I wanted to have it separate, but I think it's better to have it together. Okay. So to start, we have the arrow rest mod. Arrow rest mod. It improves accuracy. That's it. That's all the arrow rest mod does. But it's one of the two mods that is solely for bows. I don't know. Does it go on crossbows? No, it's only regular bows. Okay. So it goes on regular bows only. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put it at B, which I think is a pretty fair tier. Bows are inaccurate as shit sometimes. Sometimes the, like, hit registration, I don't know if, like... Okay. Why is it, like, when I start recording a video, the fly just comes back? Jerry comes back and he pisses me off. This fly, I don't know why. Regardless. They miss a lot. The arrows miss a lot. So, for the arrow rest mod, I'm gonna put it at B. We'll put it at A. We'll put it at A. Sorry. Because I know a lot of people love their bows. And I think that this makes the regular bows much better. Significantly better to the point to where they're much more usable. So if you're gonna run bows, you need the arrow rest mod. I do think that helps exceptionally. It makes bows actually useful. So A tier, arrow rest mod, quick and clean. Next, the bipod mod. The bipod mod increases accuracy and handling while aiming weapons. Now, I'm gonna put that at C. Because I don't care. I think accuracy is nice, but the thing is there's so many other ranged weapon mods, and all that does is improve aim down sights accuracy. But if you have a scope on your weapon, you shouldn't have to worry too much about your accuracy. Maybe for, like, snipers, if you're using, like, an 8x scope, it's beneficial. But in most situations, you're not using an 8x scope. Or even, like, a 4x scope, even, realistically. I mean, I know the 4x scope is solid, but... So, I just don't like it. I don't really care for it. I think C is a good tier for it. It improves accuracy, so it's nice while aiming. But... And handling, which is nice. But I just... If you have a sight on your gun, the gun does not sway very much unless you're using like a huge ranged rifle. So I don't think it's that great of a mod unless you're using the rifles. But even then, I don't really care for rifles. Barrel extender, S tier. Increases damage, range, and aim accuracy at the cost of stability when fired from the hip. Almost every weapon you use, you're gonna be aiming down sights. This is literally just increasing the aimed accuracy, which what the bipod does, but also increases range and increases damage. That's insane. The only weapon that I would think this is mid on is the SMG. And I don't even have it on the SMG. I use a suppressor. Every other weapon I would use this on. Just having an increased damage, an increased range, and an increased accuracy is just way too good while aiming. That's just so good. So, barrel extender mod S. It's pretty much on every weapon. You're going to have it on every weapon you own. Suppressor. Let's say suppressor's A. Obviously, if you're going a stealth build, you'll want the suppressor. Suppressor makes that build obviously much better. And there is a book that allows you to not have, I think it's damage. Is it damage reduction? Reducing range, yeah. There's a book that if you read it, it takes off the damage reduction from suppressors. So it's a very good mod to have. And then once you get that book read, you basically just don't trigger zombies from as far. So it's nice. I don't want to put it in S because the barrel extender is better, in my opinion, because I don't run stealth. So I think the barrel extender or barrel extender mod, Jesus, I think that's much better, and that's why it's S. But I think the suppressor is good. I think it should be A tier, especially if you're using any close range weapons, excluding the shotgun. So if you're using any pistols or SMGs, I would put the suppressor on it. Especially like the Deagle, high damage, just one shot with stealth. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice mod. Knock, knock. Who's there? Who's there, Crow? Who's there? Boo? Boo-hoo. This is a Ligma joke, isn't it? Boo-hoo. Wait, my jokes aren't that bad. Please don't cry. I'm crying. What did you do? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Now, I hate comedy now. Comedy's over. I will never in my entire life hear as perfect of a joke as that. Ever. Ever. It's not possible now. You have ruined comedy for me. Now it's time to bomb the Pentagon, I guess. I mean, if I can't enjoy comedy anymore, what's the point? Okay, next! It is the Shotgun Duckbill mod. Modifies projectile spread to a horizontal pattern instead of a normal round one. I'm putting it in D. I'm putting it in D. The reason why I'm putting it in D is because I think there is a better shotgun choke mod, which is, fun fact, called a fucking shotgun choke mod. And I'm putting the shotgun choke mod in A. Yeah, A. Yeah, A. The reason why is because all the duckbill mod does is make the spread horizontal. If you are fighting a zombie that is of higher difficulty, like feral or irradiated, you don't want a horizontal spread, you want a tighter spread, so you hit more pellets so you kill them quicker. So the duckbill mod is just, it's just like, it's good for if you have like 8, you know, how do I put this? 8 like normal zombies that are just running at you and you just want to hit headshots so you can have more of a horizontal spread, hit 2 or 3 maybe with it. But the regular shotgun choke ain't it. Or the regular duckbill ain't it. Excuse me. The shotgun choke is just better. Tighter spread. You can kill more zombies with it. You kill them quicker. It's just better. This leads to the sawed-off shotgun mod. I'm gonna put this at F. The sawed-off shotgun mod, barrel mod, it just increases projectile spread. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I do not like the sawed-off shotgun barrel mod increasing projectile spread. I don't want to increase projectile spread. It's a shotgun. It already has projectile spread. I'd rather it be tighter so more pellets hit. Especially if I'm going for like a headshot, I can one-shot headshot irradiated. So I'd rather have a tighter choke. So I think the sawed-off shotgun mod is terrible. The only use I could think of is, again, multiple zombies, but I'd rather use the duckbill at that point. Because then I can at least hit maybe more heads and it's more of a, like, area, like a wide area spread rather than just a wider circle, and I'll hit less pellets in general if I use the sawed-off. So, sawed-off is F. The sawed-off shotgun mod is F. I apologize. All right, next is the muzzle brake mod, which reduces recoil. So I'm going to put this at the same level as the bipod at C. So the muzzle brake at C. The reason is because, number one, I think the extended barrel is much better. I think the suppressor is much better. And it's just a recoil reduction mod. At least for me, the reason why I miss my shots, usually, has nothing to do with recoil control, and has everything to do with how the zombies move. So, things that reduce recoil control are not a major problem. Even with, like, the M60. And with the M60, you really just need, like, at most, one mod, and you're good to go. So, I'm gonna say that things like the bipod and the muzzle brake mod aren't great. They're good if you have extra mod slots and you just want to fill them for the extra damage, because if you didn't know, anytime you add any mod with the exception of like the suppressor, it ups the damage of the gun or weapon. I think with the exception of the suppressor and the fireman's axe. There may be others, but I think those are two specific ones that lower your damage actually. But the rest increase your damage period by a flat number. So I don't think, like, so unless you need them, like, just because you have open spots, the muzzle brake is C. It's not a... Recoil is not a big issue in this game. Yet. Maybe they'll change it. Cripple a mod adds a chance to cripple a leg on a bipedal target. Do mods change the appearance of items? Yes and no. So I'll really quickly give a visual example and I'll talk about it. Yes, like when you have a sight on, it changes the sight shown. If you have a suppressor on, it does change the barrel as well. But like for instance, this has a barrel extender mod on right now. The barrel extender mod does not change its looks, but the suppressor does. So there are specific mods that do in fact change appearance. Suppressor, any sight, things of that nature. I don't know all of them that change, but I know there's a few. But yeah. Does it impact the rating? No. No. Mainly because it doesn't make a big change. So I don't really care too much. Like you'll notice there is a mod on here that's not included, which is the dye. That's technically a cosmetic mod. I'm not doing the dye because there's so many different colors, and at that point, I'm just telling you what my favorite color is. And I don't think you're here to learn what my favorite color is. This isn't a first date, okay? This flies. I'm about to beat the shit out of Jerry. Jerry, fuck off. I am recording. Thank you. Anyways. So, cosmetics are not a big... Jerry, I will kill you. Good. Anyways. Because I'm not rating off cosmetics, so I'm not going to do the dye, and I don't really care if it changes the gun at all. There's a cool thing to know about the suppressor. The SMG, if you put the suppressor on it, it actually is like a soda can, I think, which is kind of cool. And I think it's the same with pipe weapons. If you put mods on pipe weapons, it'll actually like be like suppressor. It'll be like bottle cans. Because it's supposed to show, like, you know, you're foraging and, like, trying to survive off what you can find. So it shows a little bit of cool stuff, but I'm not basing the ratings on cosmetics. You're concerned I named the fly. It's not the same fly. I named Jerry, like, a month or two ago. But obviously flies don't live for a couple months. So I just name any fly that annoys me Jerry. I've only had, like, 2 or 3. I had like 2 during the summer especially, and then this one's the most recent. I haven't had it for like a month, and then 1 fly now. Why Jerry? I don't know. Fuck off, Jerry! Go away! I don't know why. I don't know why Jerry. I just got mad, and I had to yell. Yeah, I've had multiple Jerrys. I had to yell. I just had to yell at somebody. I had to yell at a fly, and the first fly, and I was like, I don't know what to name him, so I just yelled fuck off Jerry, and since then I've just named every fly Jerry. I don't know. Anyways... Back on topic. Cripple mod. The Cripple mod, as I stated, adds a chance to cripple a leg on a bipedal target. So, I believe, which I would have to do actual testing on this, you don't have to shoot them in the leg. It's just if you're shooting the zombie, there's a chance they lose their leg. I'm gonna put this at B. I don't hate it, especially if it's like, you know, irradiated zombies. It's kind of nice because they always sprint. So if you like hit their, or they're always in nightmare mode, I guess. So if you like hit their legs off randomly, it's nice because then they don't chase you as far and you can focus on other zombies. But I don't want to say it's higher than B because I don't want to aim at the ground very often. So there is obviously like a pro and con kind of thing with it, but it's a cool mod. It's a nice mod to have. I don't use it too often, largely because I killed most zombies in a couple shots. But like for mid-game, especially if you're getting swarmed, it can be nice to have a few of the zombies fall to the ground and give you a chance for some, you know, breathing room between the zombies and you. So I think B is a good area. It's definitely one that if I have an extra mod slot, I'll throw it on just for free damage buff. Alright, the foregrip mod is next. Improves handling and accuracy when firing from the hip or while moving. I'm going to put the foregrip at the same thing as the bipod for the exact same reason. The foregrip is essentially the bipod, but for hip fire rather than aiming. I'm going to put it at C because, again, recoil's not a big issue in this game. Actually, I'm going to put it at B. I'm going to put the foregrip mod at B, and here's why. Recoil is not a big issue while aiming. You should be able to have enough recoil control to control your gun. So recoil while aiming isn't a big factor. When you're firing from the hip, your gun obviously will move very differently. And so it's a lot less, you're unable to control the recoil as well. So I would argue that it's a better thing for hip fire because, you know, if you are firing from the hip, which you may have to do, like with shotguns, SMGs, and maybe even the M60 if they're close enough, it's good to be able to control that hip fire more than the aiming recoil. So I'm going to say foregrip is B only because of that. Obviously, if you're running a build that is entirely based off like sniping and aiming, this mod is shit. But that's why it's B and not anything higher than B. So I'm keeping it at B. So it's not great, but it's good. It's better than the bipod in my opinion. All right. Extension mod, the extended mod. The extended, Jesus, what is wrong with me? Magazine extender mod, Jesus. A tier. Magazine extender mod is good. It can go on every gun with the exception of pump and sawed-off shotguns, like the pipe shotguns. It basically can go on any gun that isn't a pipe weapon. No, it can even go on pipe weapons. So it's actually pretty common. It's used on almost every gun, barring like shotguns, and like revolvers. So if you're not using those, it can go on it usually. It's pretty good. I believe it adds like 50%. Yeah, increases magazine capacity by 50%. So the magazine extender mod increases your ammo capacity by 50%. For certain guns, that's a lot, right? So the M60, that's 30 extra bullets. For SMG, that's 15 extra bullets. For the auto shotgun, I believe that's like 8 extra bullets. So it's pretty good. It's not going to be S tier because the drum mag mod is going to be S tier. There are too many S tier weapons that the drum mag mod goes on for it to be equal to the magazine extender. The drum mag mod goes on the auto shotgun, the SMG, and the auto shotgun. I said auto shotgun twice, didn't I? M60, SMG, auto shotgun. Fuck. The drum mag mod can go on all three. That's pretty good. And it increases your ammo capacity by, I believe, 100%, right? Doubles magazine capacity, but increases reload time by 25%. So, in general, though, you're gonna be reloading less. The need to reload less. Because of the fact that you're doubling your ammo capacity and you're only increasing your reload speed, decreasing your reload speed by 25%. But, if you're spec'd into pistols or whatever gun you're using it on, then your reload speed's faster. So it cancels out. So, it's a pretty good mod to have, especially on the M60, it's insane. Like, during Horde Night, I just sit there for, like, a solid 10 seconds, 5 seconds, holding left click. And I don't have to do anything. And I just kill, like, 8, 10, 12 zombies, 15 zombies, depending on what type they are. And then I just reload and I go back to it. So, Drum Mag, Extender Mod, S tier. It is insanely good. It is definitely one of the best mods in the game for ranged weapons. And it's one that people will always want. Like, it's a mod that the moment you find it or are able to craft it, you do. And the only way you can craft is if you find a book, so it's even rare unless you find it. So it's a good mod. It's a great mod to have. You need to have it on pretty much any of your good weapons. Tube extender mod. This is gonna go in C tier. B tier. I want to put it lower, but I feel like that's unfair. It's only good on the pump shotgun. You can only use it on the pump shotgun. It's a gun specific mod. But it increases your ammo capacity for the pump shotgun because none of the other magazine mods go on it because it's a pump shotgun. You have to pump it. So the tube extender mod is going to be B tier. I believe it ups it by like 3 bullets. Increases the magazine capacity by 37.5%. That is 3 bullets. I believe it goes from 8 to 11. That sounds about right. I think it's 8 to 11. So for a pump shotgun, that's a big deal. And since pump shotguns aren't reloaded by how many bullets you put in, you just put 2 in and then pump it and it reloads it completely. It doesn't increase the reload time. So it's just a straight up ammo buff to the pump shotgun. And it's good. So I think it's good for that, but I don't want to put it higher than B just because it's for one gun. Right? I feel like that's unfair, but it's a good mod. So I think it's unfair to put it lower than B. Alright, reflex sight, S tier. S tier. You're going to be fighting, I would say, 60% of zombies right in front of your face. Most mid-game, any time of the game, you're going to be fighting close range in some capacity. Reflex sight is one you're going to want. Because every other sight, you zoom in on, I believe. I believe it's like a scope. Maybe not the 2 times, but outside of, no. With the 2 times you do as well. I just don't like any other sight. I only like the reflex sight, to be honest with you. I think the reflex sight is great. I think it's a perfect fit. I have good enough aim. Maybe it's just because I play FPS a lot, but I have good enough aim to where I can hit anything I want with it. It's great. It's the best sight mod in the game. Looks cool. I believe if you put it on some guns, it actually does have a unique look as well. Like the pipe pistol, I believe it has a unique look on and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's a cool mod, but it's just the best mod in the game. Jesus Christ, am I stupid? Sorry, it's the best sight mod in the game. I think almost every person probably uses a reflex sight on at least one weapon. It's needed, so it's good. It's one that you should look out for. I crafted mine, I believe, but I have found a couple. They're good. They're good mods to have. 2-time scope, we're gonna put in A tier. Yeah, A tier. It's good if you have to get zoom in a little bit more for some enemies, like maybe taking out some birds. And like people from range if you're on top of a building. So it's a good mod to have, especially if you're like a perception build for your rifles. It's good. But obviously you're not going to put it on like a pump shotgun or an auto shotgun or like an SMG. It is obviously reserved for rifles and machine guns. So not as good as the reflex sight where you can put it on every weapon, but it is still a good sight to have for ranged fights. Now, the next 2 sights, the 4-time sight is B, and the 8-time sight I'm putting at C. That might get a lot of flack. The reason why is because outside of the 2-time scope, you almost have less and less of a reason to use the 4 and 8-time scope. And for some unknown reason, the 8-time scope is significantly more common. I found probably like 10 8-time scopes before I found a single reflex sight. So 8-time scopes are better. Oh my god. My brain hurts today. I'm sorry. 8-time scopes are terrible. They're bad. They're bad. I'm sorry. They're bad. They're not a good weapon mod to have. Sorry. Fight me on this. Alright. Laser sight, F tier. Weapon flashlight, D tier. The laser pointer on your gun, it essentially just helps with aiming quickly and increases accuracy when firing from the hip. It's basically the foregrip, but like shit. Like, you don't need a laser, guys. This isn't Rainbow Six Siege, which you shouldn't even have a laser in that game either. But, like, you don't need a laser in this game. Unless you are running a full-on run-and-gun SMG-only build, you do not need a laser. It's a terrible mod. I don't know. I'm sorry. Unless this... let me check the stats. Does it have stats on it? No. It doesn't even have the stats on how much it improves your accuracy from firing from the hip. Oh, it does. Spread multiplier from the hit is minus 20%. Okay. So that's not bad. Well, what's the foregrip percentage out of curiosity? Okay, foregrip is 15%, but it's 5% per thing. Okay. So the foregrip mod is more of an all-around... Okay, so maybe we'll raise the laser. Never mind, we'll put the laser at C. But flashlight mod, D. So the laser's at C because it's basically like, it's more specific to like the SMG, but the foregrip is just an all-around better hipfire mod. The laser pointer just does it for specifically just the spread multiplier, whereas the foregrip reduces recoil in general from like vertical and horizontal recoil. So the laser sight is C. The weapon flashlight is D. The reason for that is because you're gonna have a fucking helmet flashlight mod, which we'll do in a second on the next video. You'll use the weapon flashlight or the helmet flashlight mod, excuse me. The helmet flashlight mod, Jesus, what is wrong? The helmet flashlight mod is superior in every way because it stays on at all times and you don't have to keep one weapon out. This one you have to keep the weapon out that you're using that has the mod in order to keep the flashlight on. So why? No, don't do that. Just put the helmet mod on and you don't need this. I'm only putting it at D because if you need a flashlight and don't have the helmet one yet, then obviously this is your backup. But you should just be using the helmet flashlight mod. So don't use the weapon flashlight. It's not good. Rad remover, S. Rad remover is S. 100% is S. The rad remover disables the irradiated zombies' regen abilities. So when you shoot them, they can't heal anymore for some time. I don't know if it's permanent. I didn't say. But I know you can... It stops it for some time. That's insane. Especially late game, you're gonna put this on most of your weapons. For those who are actually like visually watching, what you'll notice is I have the barrel extender, the drum mag, the reflex sight, and the rad remover all in S. That is literally just what I put on an M60. I have those 4 mods on the M60. And I kill almost every zombie in the matter of like 10 bullets, if that. Like they're radiated ones, because it's just so quick to kill. So this is definitely like the best mods to have, with a few exceptions to like if you use a different weapon, but yeah. All these mods are S tier, 100%. So rad remover, S tier. Especially late game, you're gonna have it on almost every weapon, because that's every zombie that you're gonna face, and dealing with the healing is kind of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. Alright. Hunter mod! D tier. D tier. The Hunter mod is D tier. The reason why it's D tier is because of the fact that it only affects animals. So the only animals that you're gonna... It only affects animals. So, you know, pigs, dogs, the dead dogs, by the way. It does affect undead animals as well. But how often are you fighting undead animals that you can't kill in a few bullets? It's the zombie bear and it's the bears and the hellhounds, basically. The dire wolves. Those are the 2 animals that you're gonna face that this may be beneficial. But are you really gonna put a mod on a weapon just for those 2 enemies that you'll only see occasionally? That isn't worth. It's a mod slot. And there's no reason to carry mods just to swap out and fight a certain zombie. That's stupid too. So, the hunting mod is D. I only have it equipped on stuff like tools if I don't have any tool mods to fill in a void, so they do extra block damage. So that's the only reason why I keep the hunting mods. Outside of that, they're shit. But the hunting mod applies to both all tools, all melee weapons, and all ranged weapons. Also, let me clarify, the rad remover also applies to all 3 weapons. All 3 tools, or all the tools, all the weapons, and all the melee and ranged weapons, excuse me. So, good to know. But the hunting mod, I just put it on like a shovel if I don't have enough mods to put on the shovel. So. Alright, next is the retracting stock mod, which improves weapon handling when firing from the hip. It just reduces the spread multiplier when firing from the hip. It's basically just a shitty version of the laser. D tier. Retracting stock mod, D tier. It is literally just the laser mod, but without the laser. I think the laser isn't that good. I think it's kind of useless, but it's the second thing that the laser mod does that the retracting stock mod doesn't. So this, like, these kind of mods are only good for specific builds. Otherwise, they're useless. So retracting stock mod, D tier. Again, I mean, obviously, if you're using an SMG and you just, like, don't have the mod slots, then, or if you don't have the mods, yeah, put it on. But if you have 4 mods to put on it, why, don't even, like, consider. Just don't put the retracting stock mod on. Get good at the game and be able to aim. You're fine. Alright, next is the burst mod. F tier. And you know what? Just so I can save time, semi-mod! F tier. Why am I putting the semi and the burst mod in F tier? Well, there are only select weapons that start out full auto, right? SMGs, like the machine gun, the pipe machine gun, and the SMG, the AK, and the M60. So, why even use these? The burst mod I can kind of understand a little bit, like if you're trying to put it on, like, a pistol or something. I don't think you can put it on a pistol, can you? So you can go on the deagle. Yeah, it's just not worth. I don't know why you would put this on a weapon. Like, it's just... Every weapon, I'd either rather have a full auto or a semi-auto. I don't want to burst, all right? This isn't Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, right? The old one, 2009 or whatever. This isn't... You're not using the FAMAS to, like, 2-burst an enemy, okay? You're using the most bullets you can to kill a zombie. I don't need burst fire, okay? 95% of people, when they play, like, any COD or any first-person shooter, they turn off the burst instantly. Okay? Burst, F tier. Single fire, F tier. Because the few guns that come full auto, you don't want them to be single fire. Like, what person gets the AK and goes, I wish I could tap this. Alright, just tap the fucking shoot button. What? The fuck? Why? What? Like, are you that slow that you have to hold down the shoot button for single fire? What's happening? No. Single fire is bad too. F tier. I think it's only there for shits and giggles. Full auto mod will put this in A tier. Why? Because I could put this on any pistol. Any single fire gun, to be honest. So any pistol, besides like the Magnum. And the pipe pistol. I could put this on the auto shotgun. And I can put this on the tac rifle, which starts burst and shoots 1 bullet at a time after. Or shoots a very slow speed after. So, I can basically turn any single to burst fire weapon that starts at those areas full auto. And it makes all those weapons better. So, full auto mod, good to have. Especially for like the auto shotgun and like deagle. If you're fighting like hordes of zombies, it can be useful to have a full auto deagle. It sounds weird, but it can be useful. So, A tier for the full auto mod, it's good to have. It's nice to have for specific weapons. Alright, last ranged weapon mod is the polymer string mod. Arrows and bolts fly faster. It is specifically for bows and crossbows. I'm gonna put this in S. Why? I don't like bows. I don't. But having a crossbow shoot faster, or a bow shoot an arrow faster, to where it kills a zombie quicker, is nice. It's just good. So, I think that genuinely, if you're running a bow build, you need a polymer string mod. That's good to have. So, polymer string mod is basically going to be S tier. It's basically just upgrading your rate of fire for a bow and crossbow. So, S tier for the polymer string mod. I think it's pretty good. If you're running a bow build, it's good. Yeah. It's good. It's good to have. Alright, we're now moving on to the melee weapons and tools. So, real quick, we're going to go down the list as quick as I can. Most of these involve damage to blocks specifically. So, Wood Splitter and Bunker Buster mod. Wood Splitter increases damage to wood. Bunker Buster increases damage to stone. Those are both going to be S tier. You're going to put those immediately on your axe and on your pickaxe. Instantly. No questions asked. These are mods that you will always have on your axe and pickaxe. Every time. Every time. So, S tier. Off rip. Easy. No explanation. It's just increasing your block damage to the thing that you're going to hit with those tools anyways. Alright. Next, the Temper Blade mod. which increases block damage and lowers degradation. I'm gonna put that in B tier. I think you can put it on the axe and pickaxe, if I'm not mistaken. Scroll down, please. Thank you. Oh, no, you can only put on the axe and the shovels? Yeah, okay. Still good, though. It's a good tool mod to have, the tempered blade mod. You can put it on shovels. You can put it on axes. It increases your block damage and lowers the degradation. That's useful to have. Alright. Fireman's Axe. Increases damage to blocks, but less damage to entities. That I'll put in A tier. It's basically just a shitty version of the wood splitter mod. Yeah, I mean, it just makes the axe do more damage to blocks. Same thing as the other ones. It's just A tier because of the fact that it's a shitty version of the wood splitter. If I have to pick one, I'm going to choose the wood splitter. Gravedigger, S. It's the shovel version of Bunker Buster and wood splitter. More damage against dirt. S. Okay, for shovels. I don't know how else I can explain it. And it can go on pickaxes if you really need to. Alright, Ironbreaker mod. More damage against iron. That I'm going to put in A tier. Why? The only time you're hitting iron is if you're mining iron, or if you're hitting an iron door or steel door. So, how often are you doing that? It's good for iron mining. I have it on regularly anyways, especially late game when you're like near a lot of doors and like tier 4 and tier 5 storages. You'll want to have it just because it does more damage to the chests, I believe. But it's not something you need to have on if you're like mid game where you're just mining stone and hitting concrete. Like it's just increasing the block damage. But I usually have the Ironbreaker mod on because there isn't a ton of tool mods anyways. So I have it on, but it's A tier. Ironbreaker mod, A tier. All right. Serrated Blade mod adds a chance to cause a bleeding wound on attack. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Actually, C tier. Because here's the thing. The Serrated Blade mod, although it's cool, right? You know, 10% chance to cause a bleeding wound. I mean, you can put it on steel knuckles, and you can put it on bladed weapons. I'm gonna blow your guys' mind for a minute. If you're running a bladed weapon, you're running agility. And if you're running agility, then that automatically off-rip means that you're gonna have bleed, because that's literally what the fucking... That's what the agility does. If you're speccing into deep cuts, it just every attack refreshes the duration of bleed and inflict up to 3 bleeding wounds on an enemy, and a power attack inflicts 2. So, if you're running blade, the only stuff you can put this on is blades. And the steel knuckles. So I guess for the steel knuckles it's good. But like, if you're running a blades build, you're already gonna have agility. And Ironbreaker is my first priority on salvage tools. Ooh. Wait a minute. Federation, you have a good point there. Okay. Never mind. Fireman's Axe is S. I didn't think about salvage tools. That's a really good point. No, Fireman's Axe, sorry. The Ironbreaker is S. Fireman's is still A. Because it's basically just the wood splitter, but shit. But yeah, Ironbreaker, S, I agree. I forgot that it affects salvage tools, so if you're using an impact driver on like a car and shit, that's really good. Okay. Thank you. Good point. Good point. But like the Serrated Blade mod, even though I think I even have it on my melee, it's not needed. Yeah. It's not needed. I just put 4 mods on my melee so it does the max damage, but like it's not a needed mod. If you're running blades, you already have bleeding. So I don't know if it stacks. I don't think it stacks. It doesn't mention if it stacks. It stacks the bleed, so like if it adds like a 4th bleed or 5th bleed, maybe. But even then, I just don't think it's that good. So C tier for the Serrated Blade mod. If you're running blades, you already get the ability. Yeah, maybe it just gets the cap faster, but like blades you swing fast too. Blades are faster swinging weapons, so you're gonna already get that stack pretty quick. So I just don't think it's that good. I'm just gonna put it at C tier. I don't think it's great. Give me 10 seconds. I need to drink water. I'm speed running this right now. All right. Sorry. All right. Weighted head mod adds chance to stun and slow victims. Adds a 15% chance to slow victims. Weighted head mod is pretty cool. Yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna put the weighted head in A. if you're running a blunt weapon, just having an increased chance for stun is nice. Because you're just non-stop stunning enemies constantly. Just bonk, 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 and then they just keep falling to the ground. Especially like on a horde base where you're in the air and they fall off like your walkway. It's basically unlimited survival. So it's pretty nice. It's gonna go A tier because it's like, it's one of the melee weapon mods that I'm gonna put on. Okay, that's a weird error. Whatever. It's one of the ones I put on because there isn't a ton of melee weapon mods anyways, but it's one of the ones I put on, and I would put it on for most blunt weapons. Okay. Metal spikes, barbed wire, and metal spikes. Okay, let's just go back and forth. Each successive hit lowers the enemy's armor. Barbed wire provides a chance to cause bleeding damage. So both of these mods only can go on clubs. And off rip, that kind of lowers my liking of them. I think the metal spikes is B, because I do like the armor reduction. And I think the barbed is C, because I don't think adding bleed to a club is a big deal. In my opinion. Like, if you're running a club, you don't need bleed. Actually, we'll put it in B, because you don't have the, you could, that's the only way you can add bleed. So I guess it's fine. If you add bleed and you knock them down, they're bleeding while they're on the ground. It's not bad. But, like, it's just such a weird combo to have. It's just weird. It's just weird. So it's not bad. It's B tier, but it's not, like, it's only for clubs. So you're not going to use it if you don't go clubs. So I don't want to put it any higher than B. If it's only for specific weapons, I will try not put it higher than B unless that weapon becomes godly. They'll take up half your storages if you don't run clubs. Yeah. Yeah, it's so niche if you don't run clubs. But I just sell them. Or if I get a steel club, I just put it on and add the little extra money. Do you know you can stack wood splitter mods with the fireman's axe mod? If that changes anything? No. I'm going to try my best not to include stacking, like, as a reason. Because it's ranking the individual mods. So if I'm going to choose the wood splitter every time over the fireman's axe, if that makes sense. Because this increases 15%. This one does 25% more damage to block specifically. This one's to wood specifically. And that's the big difference. Like, 25% damage to blocks is a lot. Fuck, am I gonna change my answer? We'll ponder that. How about that? But I don't want to like compare stacks. I don't want to like if you put both these mods on, it becomes good. I want to kind of like, unless it's a specific mod that's like designed to be stacked with another mod, I kind of want to keep them separate. But yeah, I still think A tier is good, by the way. I want to make that clear. A tier is still really good. Diamond tip mod greatly reduces degradation rate. I mean, I'd probably put this if I have one of these in my chest, I'm gonna put it over the serrated. They feel A tier above, yeah. Wood splitter can go on knives, right? But firemen's can't. Yes. Wood splitter can go on pretty much anything with a blade, I believe. So, like, it can go on shovels and pickaxes, too, which is kind of weird. If I'm not mistaken. That's what makes the wood splitter a really weird mod. Same thing. Oh, yeah, I can't check because the wiki, so I could be wrong. I mean, I guess I could check and see if I have it on any of my tools. Let's see. Yeah, see, I have it on the shovel, at least. So, off rip, like, it just, you know, it exists. So, yeah, I think wood splitter, okay, wood splitter confirmed S, fireman's A. But they're both still really good mods. The diamond tip mod, I'm gonna put at A, because it greatly reduces degradation. It's also pretty rare. I think you have to find it. It reduces degradation by 40%. If I have one of these, I'm gonna put it on my machete. Because, you know, it's like, I don't need the serrated blade mod. I just kind of put it on and forgot about it. But that's crazy. 40% degradation reduction, you're pretty much never going to repair your stuff that often. Speaking of degradation, structural brace, also A. That's an awesome mod to have. Whoops. Thought I almost closed that. Structural brace mod, it just moderately decreases degradation rate. It's basically just a slightly worse version of the blade. But the reason why it's the same tier as the blade is because the blade only can go on bladed weapons and tools. Structural brace mod can go on anything. Anything that is handheld, I believe. Including augers and chainsaws. And including Knuckles. So it can go on literally anything that's handheld. So it's just like an all-around version, whereas the diamond tipped is specific for blades. So that's why they're both A tier. Fortifying grip mod, that is the one. Yeah, when health is below 50, you gain additional health regen. You get 1 hit point every 5 seconds back. This is a hard one. I know it doesn't stack with specific mods. Do we want to put it in A or B? Here's my take on this. I think we're going to put it in B. Because I think don't you have to have the weapon out for it to actually increase your healing? Yeah. I think you have to have the weapon out, and it's like, I'm not going to just hold out my melee so I can get 1 extra health for 5 seconds, every 5 seconds. Like, that just doesn't feel good. Honestly, that's going down to C, the more I think about it. Fuck, the more I think about it, I don't like that. Because, I mean, it's like, if you're a full melee build, we'll go back to B. If you're a full melee build, it's good. Because then you're constantly fighting with the melee. But it is definitely not a good grip. It's, like, not a great grip. Because it's not for tools. And back to C. And we'll make it, no, it's C. Because it's really only good on weapons. You're not going to be holding out your axe to heal yourself. That's kind of dumb, you know? Fire mod. What's it called? Burning shaft mod. A melee item can double as a light source and set enemies on fire. That'll go B tier. I mean, it's cool. Do I really give a shit about... I'm good. Because if they hit me, I can get set on fire. So it becomes like the fucking zombies from Minecraft where you have fire aspect. You're getting set on fire now. It's a whole pain in the ass. But I mean, obviously it's a little more damage. End axe is a light source early game. So if you find it early game, you know, put it on your melee. So I mean, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna use an axe, you're gonna have another grip anyways. Yeah, exactly. This is only good. The fortifying grip mod's only good on like maybe sledges. If you're going like a heavy sledge build or like clubs maybe. Or maybe Knuckles if you're doing like a Knuckles build, like a brawler build with heavy armor. But outside of that, it's not amazing. Repulsor mod, S tier. S tier. Back before, back in like Alpha 7, like whenever this was released. When was this released? I won't say, I don't think. It's only on 1 weapon. This was the one exception when I said if it's 4 specific weapons, it's going to be lower. The repulsor mod makes the electric baton, I think I put it at B tier, from a B tier weapon to an S tier weapon. It's so good. It's so good. It's so fucking good. It just makes the weapon so good. It has to be S tier. Repulsor mod, S tier, 100%. I'm not, fuck it, we'll move it to the S tier in front. I'm gonna keep the ranged and melee separate though, because I don't think it's fair to compare them. But yeah, definitely S tier. It has to be. That I agree with. Metal chain mod. I don't know why this was fucking different from the other club mods, because again, the metal chain mod is only for the club. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah. Metal chain mod. I guess B tier with the rest of the club mods. I mean, like, again, it's only for clubs, and all it does is increase the knockdown rate, which is kind of cool, but... I mean, you also have the sledgehammers. I don't know. I don't like clubs to begin with, so I'm trying to be fair with them, but I just feel like clubs aren't that good. So I just feel like it's very hard for me to... Why did that do that? Why is it showing that at the bottom? It's so weird. Why is it not full screen? There we go. I don't know why I did that. Alright, next one. The ergonomic grip mod decreases melee stamina usage and increases weapon handling of bows. That one's actually pretty good. That one's also gonna go in A tier. If you're a melee build, you kind of have to have this mod on. Maybe even S tier, low-key. It might go S tier. Finally, for your fads, did you counter my opinion? On what? The repulsor mod? No, I put it S. I agree. Repulsor mod's definitely S. The ergonomic grip mod is pretty good. I was debating putting it in S. I think A, though, is fair. it's a good mod. Just watch the new YouTube vid. Oh, nice. I hope it looks better. I'm trying. But let me finish this first real quick and then we'll talk. All right, small motor tool mod, B tier, large, S tier. Actually, we'll put this in A, just so that way, yeah. Because, listen, I think it's kind of obvious why I'm doing this. Power tool, small tank mod, increases my motor tools, tank time. Okay. Tool, small tank mod is the same thing as the large power tool, large tank mod, but the large one's better. I don't know why they gave it a 6-word name, but so the large mod is gonna go in S, the small is gonna go in A, because I mean, it's literally just the drum mag versus the magazine extender debate. I would love to see if they add a flamethrower, these being used on it, but for now, I think the large one's S, the small one's A. A is good to have if you don't have S, but, you know, you still want it. All right, last 5 mods are the drone mods. We have the drone armor mod, which I'm kind of iffy on, to be honest. It reduces the damage from the drone by 50%. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Because I don't know if it's the new update, but my drone has been taking so much more damage. So I'm gonna craft this soon and put it on her, because this would help a lot. It just takes so much damage. It's always at like 60 health and then drops to 10 and dies randomly. So I think it's useful to have if you can afford it, if you have it, but I don't think it's like a necessity. Storage side to S. I'm literally gonna craft this as soon as I get home from this quest. I want it. I've been putting it off for too long. Having an increase, it's literally just having a fucking backpack, guys. It's literally like if they added a backpack mod to the game. So having a bigger backpack mod to the game is just crazy. So, S. The extended mod has to be S. The drone, robotic drone medic mod, A tier. Oh, thank you for the sub, Mezzy. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, boss, as always. I'm lost. I'm an idiot. Anyways, robotic drone morale booster mod. I love this mod. This is also gonna go in S tier. It just increases your stamina regeneration by 10%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. The only reason why I put the medic drone mod in A is because although it's a good one to have, like if you're about to die, it'll sometimes just like mass heal you. And that can be kind of annoying, you know? You know what I mean? Like when you're just like, when you're like 10 health below, or like when you're like, how do I put this? Like if you don't want to heal right now, or if you have your own healing that you want to use, it'll just randomly heal you. And it's kind of annoying. Sometimes. So it's not needed, but it's a good one to have. So it's a nice little like treat, you know, nice little bonus. Headlight mod F. Guys, you're going to be wearing the helmet light mod. Okay. If you're going to be wearing the helmet headlight mod, why would you put this on your drone? Alright. I think the drone has 4 mod slots. Just put the other 4 drone mods on and leave this off. You don't need, it doesn't need its own light. Alright, it doesn't have to see. And the thing is, if you want to see where the helmet headlight mod goes on the tier list, then you'll have to watch the next video that we're recording right now in a second when I upload it, which will be next week. Anyways, that is the weapons and tools mod tier list. The next one is going to be with armor mods and vehicles. I'm going to do that right now, but if you're watching the video, if you want to see these live, Twitch, link, I say it 100 times, y'all know it. All right. That is it for this tier list. W.